Uno, dos, tres.
Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. Merry Christmas. Yeah, so today is a continuation of the video I started yesterday, like the vlog I started cooking. You guys, I think I ended where when I finished making the soup, but I did not show you guys when I turned it and when they carried it and when I was wrapping the eba. You guys already know what I want to say. It's because it was a lot and I was beginning to enter into rush hour mode. They've called me that they were on their way coming, so I had to just keep camera aside and focus on what was facing me. Okay, I needed to meet up with the time, so that was what happened yesterday. I managed to finish up, and by the time they got here, everything was ready. The soup was packed, the eba wraps were also packed, and they just loaded into their car and film. And later that night I got the most I got the most wonderful call that every caterer, every business person likes to get after a job well done, if I can say so myself. So I got this beautiful call, and they also sent me treats. Okay, yeah, aside the payment, yeah, because the food was so good. When I was tasting that soup, I told you guys it was delicious. Okay, so I got this call that changed everything and told me how nice the food was. People ate this, and there was enough for to go. Say so. That makes me so happy. That is the type of reviews. I should have carried my camera, and when if I had known that call was going to go so nice. So, but yeah, I'm happy everything went well, but it had a toll on me. Like, I was so tired and I had other things to do. I also did not show you guys what I said. I have something to show you guys. That was the pap. I was so tired, you guys. We managed to pack the pap, but there were no cameras. Maybe later, much later, I'm going to go show you, bring it out and show you the pap. So the thing with the pap is that I paid somebody to make the pap for me. Recently, life has been busier than ever. Okay. When we pray, Father, bless me, bless the works of my hands, and make you prosper. Wherever the sole of my foot shall tread upon, let me possess it. You don't know it comes with busyness. You're not also thinking how busy, how time consuming, how time taking, how stressful, how the mental space is going to take, the time is going to take from you, the energy is going to drain from you. That is it. So yeah, it comes with all of those things. So like I said, life has been very busy, overly busy than usual, and this is not me complaining. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you guys. Okay, well, yeah, I'm happy. I'm here for every one of those busyness. Yeah, as long as there's something remitting somewhere, right? So yeah. So I paid somebody because I've not had pap for almost 1 month now, and I usually have pap. So this time around, I went to the market. I was my customer shop, and this woman I used to see every time in my customer shop. We hail from the same place, not the same village. We worship in the same church, not the same branch, and and she gives up this very nice person energy, talking about traveling to the village. And I was just telling the woman I buy things. She was there. I was just telling the woman I buy things. So just discussing, and I'm like, I would like to make pap to take to the village, and but I cannot even find the time. I don't know when I'm going to do it. So she was like that she can make pap for me. Okay. I'm like, okay. how do you do it, and we discussed everything. What do you want in the pap? I told her millet, guinea corn, and yellow corn, and then I also told her sweet potatoes has to be inside. She now said sweet potato. She was surprised about it, but I said no, yeah, this is how I want it. I want a balanced pap. So she said okay. She told me the price, and I paid her, and then that yesterday, whilst I went to the market, she brought it over and I picked it up. So the pap is ready, and yeah, we've packed it and we've put it in the freezer. Done. And I tried to make the pap last night to see, and it came out very nice. Okay, so yeah, so sometimes, when you are beginning to become so busy, there's some things you might not do for yourself, or you cannot find time to do, especially if you're somebody like me that don't have help. Okay, so I am happy that I managed to delegate, and she's a very neat person. That's another thing I look forward to. She's a very, 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 very neat person, and yeah, the pap came out so well, everything. It wasn't smelly. You can tell that she did a nice job. She did not over soak it or did not remove the water. When you do that, you tell from the pap, because it will have this particular smell, but it was smell free, and I love it so much. Yeah, so that was what I wanted to show you guys, but I think I'm going to show you guys maybe much later if I find the time to get it. So what else do I want to talk about? Another thing I want to wrap up this video is I want to talk about Akara, popularly known as, when I was growing up, we call it A and B, Akara and bread. My kids know it as bean cake. So this is something that happened that made me want to talk about this thing, and then maybe we can learn from it or something. I believe everybody should know it by now, but yeah, I knew it before now, but this particular incident that happened just made it make sense. So what was that happened? So over the years, whilst growing up, Akara bread is one of our family staple. Like, it was one of our family staple. My grandmom made a lot of agidi growing up, a lot of pap growing up. So Akara bread, Akara pap is one of our family staple growing up. We even take it to school, in those days. Yeah, and yeah, I grew up taking food lunch box to school. I did. So even one of my backpacks was a foreign backpack my dad got me. It came with a lunch box, so there's always food. If I'm not going to school with rice, I'm going to school with A and B. Okay, that's Akara bread. So we'll always buy, because if you live in Nigeria, I don't know about Nigeria of today, but from still where I am, you can find a lot of street food. People that sell Akara bread is a thing. Growing up, it was a thing. So we always buy. I didn't think we made a lot of Akara in our house, but we always ate Akara bread. So because we always buy, once you come out from your compound, you're seeing them, they're everywhere. It's like breakfast staple, okay, in Nigerian homes back then. Now we have other staples, okay. So we'll always make our pap, and then we'll go buy the Akara. So we'll go buy the Akara. Meanwhile, I started teaching my children that, you see, that bean cake people call is the same thing, is same as Akara bread. So don't get it twisted, in case you find yourself in a position where people are talking about Akara bread and you don't even know, you become a JJC. It is the same thing. So whether bean cake or Akara bread, they're the same thing, or even A and B. Okay, so I have to tell them, right? So we always buy this Akara. And why am I bringing up this story? I'm bringing it up because my husband, over the years, will always complain to me after eating Akara, because I do not do it much in my house. Reason being that I do not have a good blender that can blend, give it that smoothness. Okay, so my husband will always complain of, after eating Akara, that he's always bloated, he's always bulging, he's always nauseous, all of those things. He will always complain. And I find out that few times I have eaten Akara recently, I have felt so nauseous, like I want to puke, I want to vomit, all of those things. And I'm like, is it that my system is beginning to change into that of my husband? Because the man I married has a very sensitive stomach, okay, that makes him not to eat anyhow. He doesn't eat outside, because whenever he eats anything that does not really, go well, it will show. He will just begin to feel nauseous and all of that, and you will not be comfortable. So he barely eats outside. So, but this akara, he's the one that used to buy it from this particular woman. He loves the akara, but so when he complains like this, I'm like, if you eat this one, you complain. Eat this one. What else can we be giving you, right? So, but it started making sense to me a few days ago. Basically, yesterday when I was going to the market for the cooking I made. Now, what am I trying to say? Back then, when we buy akara, you see these local people, these people that make akara, they wash their beans. Even back then, I think beans were grown organically with, good manure. Not now that we have fertilizers everywhere. We have pesticide and whatnot. Then they always wash their beans. Okay, after washing the beans, they wash it properly, and then they grind it and then use it to make the akara. But this time, yesterday to be precise, because all the while my husband has been complaining, I used to link it down to how his system is. But while I was going to the market yesterday, I saw that particular woman that my husband buys bean cake from. She was grinding the beans in this local, of course that's where you can grind that quantity, grinding machine. They were pouring it from the bag. And if you live in Nigeria, because those of you that live in the diaspora, you might not get the whole gist, or you might not get the whole picture, because the beans here comes with a lot of dust, dirt, stones, and that outer layer that feels like wood, with a lot of dust. And remember, they preserve these beans now with insecticide, like they call it, insecticide, just to keep it away from weevil and stuff. So you can imagine the amount of chemicals and the dust that is inside of these beans. This woman was pouring it straight from the bag into the engine with all dust everywhere, and then they are grinding it like that, like into powder. And it just struck a nerve within me. I'm like, maybe this could be the issue. How? Why is it that people are no longer washing beans the way it should be? They grind with all of these things, and then why won't you feel the way you feel when after eating these things? So I'm like, okay, let me just share it here, because those of us that don't have, I think the reason why I've not been making akara, like I have said, because I do not have a good blender. But if you have a good blender, do not stop yourself from just washing the beans. Now there are ways you can wash beans. You can wash with your food processor, with your blender, or you can also wash it by hand, which is not, it takes nothing out of you washing your beans by hand. These days I used to teach my children, I put the beans and then everybody takes turn in scrubbing it. So you just pour a little water and everybody rub it. So you take 2 minutes, rub the beans, you go out, another person takes 2 minutes and rub the beans. By the time the 4 of them and myself rub the beans, you only need to wash it, rinse it once. I'm telling you, before you know, all of those things will go out. And why I've not been maybe you can use the local grinder. No, I don't use the local grinder, because how much beans do we blend? Am I going to blend for my family? Highest if we want to make bean cake akara here is 2 cups of beans. Then I will not take it to the local grinder to go and grind. I feel like it's just a waste of time and just a waste of time. So but now I have my odogu blender. Yes, I can make bean cake anytime for my family, and it gives me so much satisfaction knowing that the end result of what is going into our system is good and clean. Okay, so for those of you buying akara, maybe you should take a step back, or just think it, except maybe if you trust the vendor, that's where you get the akara. And another thing, I think this is how they make the beans flour. Honestly, in fact, I prefer the peeled beans than the beans flour, because that is how they grind it. They grind it and then they just sieve the whole whatever, if they can find anything to sieve, because that's a commercial blender, because the commercial blender actually does a very nice job, fine job in making it as smooth as possible. So you see that the beans flour you're getting is still full of all those chemicals, all those dirt and dust that comes with the beans. So yeah, I was just thinking out loud, you guys. This information, I don't know if it made sense, but yes, I think for me it does make sense, and I think that is where the problem we have been suffering from in this house when it comes to beans and akara comes from. Even though the akara is fried in deep oil, okay, please do wash it well, okay? Do wash it well. It will save you a lot of money spending in the hospital, okay? And another thing, if you're also not eating akara because of the deep fried oil, the oil and everything, I think there are ways now you can make akara pancakes, okay, flat akara, that is also nice, very nice. I personally prefer the deep fried one, but don't fry it in such a way that it will become so soggy. When you press the akara, oil will be dropping. Fry it in such a way it will be very dry, okay? Yeah, you still enjoy your good old breakfast recipe or snack. And yeah, as long as you're not eating it every day, I think it's good. We are all good. Yeah, so that is the piece of information, and that is how I want to personally end this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, okay, I would like to know, tell me, what other food are you eating that have you noticed that after eating it makes you nauseous, or maybe you beg, or it makes you feel uneasy. Maybe it could be from all of this, maybe it could be from how they prepare it. Just for you to know, these people that prepare public food, not everybody cares about your health, okay? Especially if it's going to save them time, money, and then enable them make a lot of gain. They will not want to bother, taking going through the process. A lot of businesses in this time and dispensation are all about fast, quick, and everything. We can get it to you fast, quick, and as soon as possible, and just make their money. Nobody wants to do it the old fashion way, where you do things properly, process and all of that. But yeah, so let me know the food that you've been eating, that after eating it gives you constipation, make you constipated, makes you nauseous and all of that, maybe veg or something. Let me know in the comment section. Until I come your way next time with something beautiful, until then, please do remember that better is not good enough. The best is always yet to come. Until next time, so long guys. Bye.